What's up, everyone? Today's guest is a name you're going to want to remember. She is an up-and-coming powerhouse from central Minnesota, locking down third base and absolutely smashing the ball at the plate. She made serious waves in the 2024 season as she took home the 2024 Whitney Superdraft MVP, and she's only getting started. Let's welcome one of the rising stars of the game, Brenna Bowland, the MVP of the Whitney Superdraft. All right, before we get any further, I know that some of you may not know what the Whitney Superdraft is. So, check out this video to see just what you're missing out on if you don't sign up. All right, so now you have an opportunity to see just how much fun we have at the Whitney Superdraft. Let's get back to this episode and hear from the draft MVP herself. The queen of the hot corner.
Yeah.
Is queen appropriate?
Yes, oh for sure.
Good. The queen of the hot corner. You left your crown at home.
Yep.
Which is okay because it's, as expected. It seems to rain in Minnesota every day that ends in Y.
Yes.
But here we are on the podcast. Thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. How are you feeling today?
Pretty good.
Pretty good.
Nice
little
and cold.
wet.
Little wet.
Little cold, little wet, but we're, it's Minnesota.
Yep.
It's not snowing.
Yeah.
It's a miracle. I probably expect snow any minute now.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Wouldn't surprise me either. Brenna, thank you for being here. Super excited to go through, talk about your history with softball, talk about your introduction to the sport. But before we do that, all the viewers out there, they want to know what league legends use to become legends. So We want to hear about the hardware. Let's start with your stick. What bat are you swinging?
I've got the Monster Sinister.
Oh, a one piece.
Yeah, the wood grain.
No way.
Yep.
Where did you get that?
Got it from a guy on your team, Todd.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
And he didn't sell it to me.
Nope.
Todd,
He
I
tried to
thought
get
we
it
were
back.
friends. Well, I don't blame him for trying to get it back. He actually just got a one piece too. He got another one piece a week or two ago. But to give up a wood grain
I know.
is like giving up it's like giving up gold.
Yeah, they're worth good money now too.
They're worth a tremendous amount of. There's some guy, and if you're watching this, whoever you are, your prices are ridiculous. Line drive deals on eBay. This guy sells bats for $600-$700.
That's what I looked up.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, you probably sell them. So way to go, you got the market figured out. But yeah, I looked the other day because I literally just bought a Sinister the other day, not the wood grain. I had the wood grain. I actually gave the wood grain to one of my good buddies. You know who you are, and I know you're watching. But the one piece, it's cool to hear that you're swinging a one piece because a lot of people who swing a one piece bat are people who are extremely talented with contact. You know, one piece bats are less forgiving. Those two piece bats, if you miss hit, you still might get on base. You still might have something land in the grass where you're free. One piece are less forgiving. So to be out there swinging a one piece and the best of them, the wood grain Sinister, it's a great bat to swing.
Yeah.
It makes sense that that's what the legends use.
It was just the first one I tried last year. And it worked.
And well, you know what? Maybe it's not the bat. Maybe it's the person swinging
There
it.
you go.
There you go.
Yep.
Okay. So we got the bat. What about the glove?
Glove, I've got a Louisville Omaha.
Louisville Omaha.
Yeah, got it
Wow.
in 2011.
A good year.
Yeah.
Good year. I graduated 1 year before it. So it's almost the best year, but still a
Close.
good one.
Yeah.
A Louisville Omaha. How many inches is that glove?
I think 12.
Yeah.
I think.
Enough to get people out at third?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then what about on the feet?
Ooh, the cleats are Adidas, and they were the cheapest ones at Shields that fit my feet.
Okay. Cheap at Shields.
Yep.
Brand new though.
Yeah.
You don't want to put your foot into something someone else has worn,
No.
right?
No.
Yeah. You don't know what's been on their feet.
No.
Probably socks.
I'd hope so.
I'd hope so too. Yeah. That's cool though. Okay, so we've got a little bit of an assortment there.
Yep.
Louisville, Adidas, and Monster.
Yep.
And that's what the legends use.
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. Brenna, you have been around for what seems to be a while because as soon as you came onto this scene of softball, I felt like everyone knew who you were right away, but it's not been a while, has it?
It is not.
How long have you played for?
Slow pitch for about a year and a month.
Okay. But you have history with softball prior to slow pitch?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, we did slow pitch growing up. My first probably 6 or 7 years playing, starting at 5 years old, was all slow pitch.
Okay.
And then fast pitch through college.
Okay. Wait, where did you grow up?
In Grand Forks, North Dakota.
North Dakota.
Yeah.
Wow, the great North.
Yep.
Okay. What's life like in North Dakota compared to central Minnesota?
You know, pretty similar actually.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Similar. Yeah.
Nice and boring.
Nice and boring. Yeah. You know, this is the thing. If life wasn't boring, would you be playing softball?
No.
Yeah. They don't have a
Yep.
whole lot of softball in Miami Beach, do they?
No.
No. But
I'll
North
take this.
Dakota, Minnesota, you know, this is where legends are made. They're not
Yeah.
made in Miami.
No.
They're made right here
Yep.
in just the Midwest. That's awesome. So North Dakota growing up too. And so you played slow pitch starting and then
Yeah.
went into playing fast pitch, I'm assuming.
Yep.
Okay. What's the differences from slow pitch to fast pitch?
I think just batting.
Yeah.
Being able to hit the ball straight and not pop it up in slow pitch.
Yeah.
Just a different swing.
Yeah. I've played fast pitch one time. Shout out to the folks from New Ulm. I played with New Ulm. They also have Bachfest every year. I'm giving Bachfest some free promotion here. So Bachfest, you're welcome. One of my favorite bands, Foreplay, is always there. They're fantastic. Free promotion for you guys too. But I played fast pitch once, and I was thankful to walk because that ball from slow pitch to fast pitch, I don't know what it is about the mechanics of this underhand throw.
Yep.
But when I see a ball that gets released from down here and comes up in my head,
Yeah.
that's a scary thing to have happen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. And that's what you were used to.
Yep.
So slow pitch is a walk in the park.
Yeah.
That makes sense. And here you are in Minnesota, but you've only been playing for 2 years. What were you doing before softball?
I was doing nothing. I took probably 7 years off from college till now.
Okay.
Started a job, made a family.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah. Well, that'll keep you busy.
Yeah, it does.
What were you doing in college?
College, playing hockey.
Playing
all 4
hockey.
years, yep. And then softball for 2.
That's another good thing to do in the Midwest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
Hockey's
all
pretty
the
popular.
Midwest things.
Yeah. Do you get any fights?
No.
Yeah.
No, I was too little to get in any fights.
Oh, okay. What position do you play for hockey?
Defense.
Defense.
Yep.
Okay.
I was
Score
a good
some goals
backwards
though?
skater. Not too many, but a few.
A few. Well, for defense, you're usually not scoring a lot, but to get a few
Right.
is pretty good.
Yep.
I'm not a good backwards skater. Forwards, pretty good. Backwards, I don't know. I got to get a review mirror or something if
Fair.
I'm going to be doing that, you know. I love hockey, though. I'm not good at it. I came from a very, very small town in central Minnesota, and they didn't have a hockey team. So we would go play at the local ice.
Oh, there you go.
know, we got to play, but none of us were good.
No.
You
As
know.
long as you have fun.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you have to have fun. What else are you going to do in the winter when it's cold, right?
Right.
A little bit of snowboarding, maybe some skiing, but
Yep.
we don't have mountains like out west.
No.
And North Dakota has none.
Absolutely none.
Yeah. So even you can't even sled out there. You got to get like a horse or something, just tie the sled to
We had
it.
like one sledding hill in Grand Forks, and that was it.
Yeah. And it was just packed because
Yeah.
everyone was there
Yep.
in the whole state.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Very cool. So now playing softball. So again, I kind of mentioned this to begin, but you're kind of new on the scene in central Minnesota softball, but you're pretty well known for being new, right? So how do you get into central Minnesota softball?
Well, I found some Facebook pages for
Yeah.
the St. Cloud community. Somebody posted that they were looking for some girls,
Yeah.
commented on it, and the rest is history.
The rest is history. Okay, so you landed on a team.
Yep.
It seems like since you've started to play, everyone's pretty aware of who you are because, like I mentioned, to start, you are the Whitney Superdraft MVP.
Yes.
So you started last year,
Yep.
and you ended the season. Well, I guess still, did you play fall ball?
Yeah, I broke my toe, so I was
Ooh.
the catcher, but our team won the fall ball tournament.
So you
too.
still played with a broken toe?
Yes.
Jeez, hard as nails. So first year playing, and you end up being a tournament MVP.
Yes.
How does one do that?
I have no idea. A good team.
A good team.
We had a good team.
A good team, but the team chooses the MVP.
That's true. I made some good plays at second. Played second base that tournament.
Played second base that tournament.
Yep, and I always
Some
had the
good
wristband
plays.
for the 2 runs, so
Yeah.
that helped.
Okay, so 2-run wristband.
Yep.
Well, so there's 2 sides to the sport. There's defense and offense. So if you have a 2-run wristband and you get voted, I'm guessing that you have a pretty good bat too.
Yes. Not
Yeah.
hitting far, but I can place my hits pretty well.
Nothing. Well, okay, so not hitting far, but hitting hard and finding grass.
Yep.
See, now that is something that could be dissected with a microscope because when it comes to actually hitting, so many people want to go up there and crank the ball over the fence.
Yeah.
But there's people who are so smart where they don't need to crank it. They can find a patch of grass and make sure they hit that grass.
Right.
And so that's your strategy.
Yeah. I'm not hitting it over the fence. Never have.
What do you know what your batting average was last year?
No, I have no idea. I know most tournaments, if you're looking at the book, it was around like 750
750.
for our tournaments.
You'd be a C softball player at 750. I
Yeah.
guarantee. Yeah, if there's a couple women's teams out there who are competitive, she is a 750 batter.
For a few tournaments.
Yeah. Well, I
wanna
mean,
get
a
a big
few of
hit,
them.
I don't know.
A few of them. I think we played yesterday, and I bat 1,000 our first game, and our second game I went 1 for 3.
Yeah. I have games like that though too.
Okay. Well, you're humble. I like it. You're humble. So, now playing Central Minnesota, playing pretty competitively too, because the league that you play in, from what I'm aware of, like there's some very talented teams out there, and you primarily play.
Position?
Yeah.
Third base.
Third base, the hot corner,
Yep,
as
third
we talked
base.
before. What does it take to go up there and comfortably play the hot corner when you know that people rip the ball down the line?
Oh, I think just confidence.
Yeah,
I've been doing it forever. Always playing third base, getting
Yeah.
balls hit at me.
yeah,
Haven't gotten hit in the face yet.
okay.
Should knock on some wood probably.
Yeah, we should get your bat,
Right,
your
yeah.
sinister, the wood grain, you know? Just confidence is enough to take you there and be comfortable playing it,
Yeah.
you know? And then playing in the Whitney draft and becoming the Whitney draft MVP, like, that's already a pretty good start to the sport. What do you love most about softball?
Ooh, I just love playing softball.
Yeah?
catching balls, throwing them, hitting, being around friends.
Yeah.
Outside in the heat. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, to be fair, if anyone here is watching from southern states, the heat in Minnesota is about 85, with the exception of 90 for about 4 days of summer. So the heat is nice, but we have got too many lakes. So the moisture, what is it? The humidity, it's a killer.
That's true.
It makes you tired quick.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So enjoy getting out, playing with friends. Now, when you played hockey and you played defense, I mean, let's think about playing from softball to, hockey. Those pucks are quite a bit harder than a softball is. Yeah. So, I mean, that probably's got to help a little bit too,
That's true.
right?
Yeah, used to getting hit with pucks.
Yeah. That's got to hurt.
Oh,
you have all
too
your
bad.
teeth,
Got
though.
all the gear. Got all my teeth.
You have all your teeth. You have all the gear. So you're good there.
Doing pretty well.
Yeah. But you don't wear a mask when you play third.
No, I did the last time we played you guys, though.
Last time you played us?
Yes. Well, you had all the really good players that day. I was getting a little nervous.
All of them?
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Who are the good players?
That was the day you had Cam and Brady, and
yeah.
I got a little nervous.
Yep. I was kind of hoping you'd say me, but don't feel compelled.
You too.
Oh, no. I'm not good. I just have a good time.
Yeah.
And if having a good time makes you a good player, then sign me up.
Yep.
No, that's awesome, though. So one of the things that I think is really good for this sport is draft tournaments. Now you started before the draft, but for anyone who is maybe like a viewer of this, getting into softball might be hard because they like you might not know the right people or might not know what resources they have. So one of the main ones, like you said, Facebook is a great tool to use. You can go on Facebook, you can find plenty of people looking for teams.
Yep.
But another popular thing is the drafts. These draft tournaments where you can sign up as an individual, you go out there and play and people are like, dang, like this person has got some talent.
Yep.
They're going to have you come along and they're going to say, hey, do you want to play with our team, right?
Yeah.
What was your first experience playing on the draft? Because not only, again, like we talked about, you're a draft MVP, but playing on a draft as opposed to playing in a league setting, what are the differences?
There's a lot of people here.
Yeah.
Super fun meeting everybody. Get put on a random team. Nobody knows you. I think I knew 2 people on my team.
Nice.
And everybody else, I had no idea who they were. And I crept on them on Facebook, and I found out a couple of the guys were pretty big softball name guys.
Yeah.
And so getting to know everybody, just hanging out, and then, like you said, afterwards, a couple of them reached out wanting to play in tournaments.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, making new friends, finding new teams to play on.
Making new friends, finding new teams.
Yeah.
I think that's one of my favorite things too. Being a person who's not only played in multiple drafts, I played in drafts with some of the biggest ones out there, like for example, Spiders.
Yeah.
Shout out to those guys. Ed Elf. Ed does a great job with his draft tournaments. We played out in Panama City Beach, made some great friends out there where I actually ended up going out to Colorado, going to a concert with some of the people some of the people that I play in these draft tournaments. I played in a Stingers draft tournament out in Kansas City, one of the nicest complexes I've ever seen in my life, Mid-America Complex in Shawnee, Kansas. It was all turf. It was immaculate. You couldn't find a better complex besides Whitney.
Of course.
Of course. Love Whitney to death. Even though it seems to rain here, I think they need to turn off the rain if they can.
Ignore the puddles.
Yeah, ignore the puddles. It's only fitting because for everyone who's watching, we tried to do this podcast for weeks.
Yes.
The first time we tried to do it, we got rained out.
Of course.
And the second time, you might not see it, but Brenna actually has a pretty fancy cleat on right now. What are those? Is that Nike?
This is the Aircast 500.
Aircast. Yeah. Jordan is really stepping up their cast. The Aircast 500. Yeah. Not the best for rounding the bases, but the support is unreal.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. But I played out in the Stingers draft in Kansas. And one of the things that I loved, just like you said, is at these draft tournaments, you meet so many great people, but also on top of that, everyone's there just to enjoy the sport that we love. Yeah. Being softball.
No one's forced to be there. Everybody wants to be there and play.
Exactly. Like you came out to play something that you love and to meet people doing it.
Yep.
And then you also have the opportunity to make friends for life. So you came into that draft knowing 2 people, right?
Yep.
And now how many of those people from your team still talk to you?
Most of the team.
Yeah?
Yeah. I'm friends with most of them on Facebook still.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Yep.
Yep, and some from the area, some outside. But when you cross past a tournament, I'm sure they're coming up to you right away and be like, "That's our MVP."
Oh yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, Now being in the sport, if you were to give anyone else watching this advice on like, hey, if you're looking to play softball, what would you give them advice to do it?
Ooh. Get on a Facebook, search for groups.
Yeah.
Get onto your local like recreational pages on Facebook or Google it. Definitely get out, even if you're nervous.
Yeah.
Don't like talking to people, still come out if you want to play softball.
Were you a little nervous at first?
Oh yeah.
Really?
I don't like talking to new people very well.
No way.
Yep.
That kind of comes at a shock to me because
Yeah,
you're
well,
a very friendly individual. Everyone from that team, they seem to be very, very happy with choosing you as MVP.
Yeah.
And I don't think that an MVP is just based off of talent. I think there's multiple sides of the game, and one of those sides is also like who's in the dugout lifting other players up. Right.
Yeah. That's
So-
what the draft is. Easy to be talkative and be friendly and cheer each other on.
Yeah.
Very positive environment.
Yeah. I don't like using this word, but the vibes were high.
vibes.
The vibes. I'm not a vibes guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Sorry if anyone is a vibes guy and you're watching this. Maybe it's just not my thing, but I'm not a vibes guy. But the vibes are high at the draft, huh?
Yes. Yep.
That's awesome. So now that you've played league, what's next for you in the sport? What's on your bucket list of things you want to check off?
I want to get ranked.
Really?
I don't know how to do it or where to do it, but I want to get ranked somehow.
Okay.
Once I'm back to playing again, of course.
Once the Air Jordans or the cast Jordans
Yeah.
are off. The
Yep.
cast Jordans.
That's a goal.
This is the thing. When it comes to like actual like getting ranked, it's all about the tournaments you play in. And this is a
Right.
great topic too, because a lot of people don't necessarily play in tournaments
Yeah.
because they're not looking for them. A lot of people who play in league, for example, myself, I probably played league for 5 years before I played my first tournament.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. Because like I just thought that league was softball. I thought like that was softball. I thought league was the pinnacle.
Yeah.
And then I found out like, hey, there's these weekend tournaments. Actually, a team asked me. A team had messaged me saying, hey, do you want to come with us to Corky's, which I've talked about on the podcast before, the coolest softball tournament in the world, in my opinion. Shout out to Lauren, shout out to Scott, all the guys at USA Softball. They do a fantastic job. Pfeff, I'm trying to think of anyone else I'm missing. Some of the vets out there, but Corky's is probably the coolest softball tournament in the world. It's in Owatonna, and there's teams from Florida, Texas,
Oh, wow.
even teams from I think like way out east who come out for it. And Corky's is probably one of the most intense but awesome tournaments in the world. And a team asked me to come out and play, and I realized that there was so much more to it. So getting ranked is just playing in a tournament.
Yeah.
And I have a feeling that there's some women's teams out there who would love to get a third baseman like you on there, or a third base woman. Is that the correct term? Woman. I gotta make sure I'm
Whatever
accurate
you wanna
here.
call it.
Yeah. To get you on the hot corner on their
Yeah.
team. So now I'm looking forward to the fact that when that happens, because there's teams out there that competitive women's softball is probably one of the coolest things to watch in the world.
I've never played in an all-women's team or been to any of those tournaments.
There's around central Minnesota, there's only a few. I think Little Falls has a team or a league. I know Cold Spring did for a while, but hey, Whitney, I mean, we have Fridays open.
Hey,
Let's
do it.
Monday through Thursday's full, but Fridays, let's get everyone out to the ballpark for a women's league.
Yes.
Awesome.
That'd be fun.
So next thing up is getting ranked. I like that. What and being a former college athlete for hockey and softball, I can understand that competitive edge.
Yeah.
What else? Is there anything else on the bucket list for you?
No, just being able to play.
Being able to
It's going to
play.
be a rough summer not playing now. So
Yeah.
just being able to play a couple times a week.
Yeah. You're not even
it.
going to catch with the Air Jordan on.
No, I can't be weight bearing yet. Once I can.
Once you can. Yep.
Yep. I
Sure.
brought it up for the Gilman tournament.
Oh.
Just standing behind the plate.
That's a good tournament.
Yep.
The Gilman one is a good one. Yeah. So being able to just get back on the field and playing.
Yeah.
Yep. I hope you're back in time for the Whitney draft.
Yeah, I'm signing up either way.
Yeah. We'll get you out.
Yep.
Without a doubt. Brenna, I really appreciate the fact that you're willing to come out here and share your story with everyone. Also, huge shout out to the Whitney Draft MVP. If you have not checked out or been a part of the Whitney Draft, sign up for it. We'll get a link in the description on the video. I want to thank you for being here, but before I send you home, Smash It Sports always likes to hook up all of our guests. So we've got a little gift for you. See if I can get open. We probably should have put it on you a while ago because my guess is you're freezing, but
I was thinking I'm going to put that on when we're done.
Smashing
Thank
Sports
you.
going to send you home with a nice sweatshirt, hopefully to warm up with.
Yep.
But again, Brenna, you're one heck of a ball player. Playing against you, it makes me have to hit to the right side of the field because I can't hit to the left. But on top of that, just you're a great individual to represent the sport. I really thank you for coming out.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. If you are just tuning in, like, subscribe to the video, check it out. Sign up for the Whitney Draft, best softball draft in Minnesota. Well, there's a couple good ones, but I like to think it's the best because I run it. Thank you for checking out the video. Have a great night.